Let me hit you with something raw. The man who is feared walks into a room and people straighten up. The man who is liked walks in and gets ignored. In this world where softness is glorified and masculinity is often diluted, we've forgotten one of the oldest truths ever told. A man who is feared commands respect long before he ever speaks. Being feared doesn't mean you're cruel. It doesn't mean you're abusive, violent, or evil. It means people know that crossing you has consequences. It means your presence has weight. It means your silence can be louder than another man shouting. And yes, it means you're respected not because you're nice, but because you're necessary. From history to the modern world, the men who led, the men who shaped the world, they were feared. Marcus Aurelius, not just liked, feared for his discipline. Napoleon, feared for his genius. Malcolm X, feared for his fire. Even the fictional ones like Batman, he doesn't win because people like him. He wins because fear keeps criminals in check. Fear, when earned through principle, power, and presence, is a tool one most modern men have forgotten how to use. Let's get something straight. If you live your life trying to be liked, you'll sell your soul in pieces. You'll nod when you disagree, laugh when something isn't funny, stay silent when your gut screams to speak. You'll say yes when you need to say no. Why? Because you're addicted to approval. Because being liked feels safe. But men who crave safety over respect end up weak, bitter, and invisible. The feared man. He says what he means. He holds the line. He sets a standard. People might not invite him to every party, but they damn sure think twice before disrespecting him. Fear doesn't mean loneliness. It means boundaries. It means your time matters. It means your words aren't cheap. It means people can trust you because you trust yourself. You want to be liked? That's easy. People-pleasing is the fastest path to mediocrity. But being feared, that takes work. That takes control over your impulses. That takes patience, consistency, and the ability to walk away. That takes knowing who the hell you are. See, being feared doesn't come from raising your voice. It comes from raising your standards. It's how you carry yourself. It's the look in your eyes when someone tries to manipulate you and you don't flinch. It's how you keep calm when others lose it. It's the strength in your silence. It's walking away without explanation. It's saying no without guilt. To be feared, you need more than just muscles or a deep voice. You need consistency. You need emotional detachment when required. You need to be the kind of man who walks away from disrespect and never looks back. You need to speak only when necessary. So when you do, every word hits. Fear is also built in silence, in the hours no one sees. When you're grinding in the gym while others sleep. When you're reading while others scroll. When you're planning, training, building. That is when fear begins to form around your name. Because you become rare. A rare man is a dangerous man. And dangerous men are feared. Not because they seek violence, but because everyone knows they're capable of it. And let's address something important. Being feared doesn't mean being evil. It means you are the storm that others prepare for. It means people hesitate before crossing you, not because you'll hurt them, but because your presence demands respect. You want to be loved? That's fine, but understand this. Love without fear is often taken for granted. Fear without love is cold, but respected. But the man who is feared and respected, that's the man who never gets crossed twice. That's the man who leads. Because people follow power, and power isn't granted, it's taken. Power isn't loud. Power doesn't explain itself. Power doesn't need permission. Power walks into the room, and everyone else adjusts. If you want to be that man, the man who is feared in the best way, then start today. Start by being silent when others complain. Start by refusing to explain your goals. Start by mastering your body. Start by becoming financially lethal. And start by learning how to destroy your weaknesses one by one. Because here's the cold truth. No one fears the man who's always available. No one fears the man who avoids conflict. No one fears the man who just wants to be liked. You want people to respect your time, then become the kind of man who respects his own time. so ruthlessly, others are afraid to waste it. You want women to admire you? Then be the man who doesn't chase. Be the man whose ambition is terrifying. Be the man who would rather walk alone than follow a crowd of sheep. You want to win in life? Then stop asking for permission. Stop explaining yourself. Stop softening your edges to fit in. Let them call you intense. Let them call you aggressive. Let them say you're too focused, too driven, too cold. Let them talk. Because behind closed doors, they'll fear disappointing you. They'll fear losing you. You weren't born to be tame. You were born to conquer. You were born to build. You were born to be remembered. And to be remembered, you must first be feared. There's a reason the name of a man like Genghis Khan still echoes through time. It's not because he was loved, it's because he was feared. Let's be honest, most modern men are terrified of being perceived as threatening. We've been told to be kind, agreeable, soft-spoken, and accommodating. And while there's nothing wrong with kindness, there's a danger side to always being liked. You become forgettable, a shadow in the background, harmless, weak, the truth no one wants to say out loud. A man who is feared is respected. A man who is feared gets space when he walks into a room. A man who is feared doesn't beg for approval, he commands it. Fear isn't about being cruel or violent. It's about being a man who's capable of those things, yet chooses restraint. It's about power under control. It's walking with a presence so firm, people move when you speak. And that power, that presence, is not built through fake confidence or online motivation. It's earned through discipline, mastery, and the silent willingness to go further than anyone else. When you're feared, you don't need to raise your voice. When you're feared, you don't chase women. They respect you from a distance. When you're feared, your boundaries aren't questioned. You see, people confuse fear with negativity. But in reality, fear is one of the most powerful forces of nature. It protects, it drives growth, it forges legacy. Why do you think the Roman legions, Spartan warriors, or samurai clans are remembered? It wasn't because they were likable, it's because they embodied strength. Men feared them. Enemies feared them. Even allies feared disappointing them. In today's world, masculinity has been declawed. Men are taught to shrink themselves to dim their fire. But what happens when you suppress a man's instinct to dominate, to defend, to lead? You create a generation of timid, uncertain ghosts, men who look strong but act weak. That ends with you. A man who is feared is a man who has embraced his full nature, or not the edited, socially accepted version, but the primal, relentless side that says, I will not be controlled. I will not be disrespected. I will not be ignored. Weak men think fear is negative because they confuse it with being hated. They're wrong. You can be feared and still be loved, but you can never be truly respected if all you seek is to be liked. Let me ask you, when your name is brought up in a room full of strangers, what do you want to happen? Do you want people to say, yeah, he's nice? Or do you want silence, that respectful pause, that look exchanged between people that says, don't mess with him? A man who is feared, when built on character, becomes a protector, a force, a storm you want on your side. You don't fear the tyrant, you fear the disciplined man, the man who has options and still walks the hard path, the man who doesn't need approval because he lives by principle. The truth is, fearlessness is a myth. Everyone is afraid of something, but being a man worth fearing, that means you've mastered your fear. That means your demons don't drive you, you ride them. You become feared by speaking with clarity, not noise, acting with purpose, not impulse, training your body like a weapon, training your mind like a fortress, being relentless in discipline, cutting off comfort when it makes you weak, living as if your time matters because it does. Too many men today are chasing softness, chasing validation, chasing some false peace that comes from fitting in. But real peace, it comes from knowing you can handle war. That if everything went sideways tomorrow, you could stand firm while others fall apart. It's better to be feared than liked because fear builds respect, and respect builds trust. The man who is liked for being agreeable is replaceable, but But the man who is respected for his strength, he's unforgettable. Think of the last time someone disrespected you. Be honest. Did they do it because they didn't like you? Or because they didn't fear the consequences? Now ask yourself, what kind of man lets that happen twice? There's a cost to being feared. People will misunderstand you. Some will envy you. Some will call you cold. But deep down, they'll respect you. They'll adjust to your energy. They'll know you stand for something. And if you carry that fear with honor, with strength, with restraint and purpose, you won't just be feared. You'll be followed, respected, remembered. Be that man. Not the one who bends, not the one who begs, not the one who hopes to be liked. Be the one who commands the room without saying a word. Be the one whose standards build kingdoms. Be the one who walks alone, because his mission is too big for weak company. Be feared, because that man wins when it matters most.